Alrighty, live streaming is starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. All right, we are live streaming, ladies and gentlemen, onto Facebook and YouTube for playback. That is important because this is the most important webinar of your entire Neumi career if you are brand new. This is the second session for today. This morning, Sergio and Aaron, with a virtual me, ran exactly the same session with Wordly for all of the European market. This is now the Southern Hemisphere for brand new people as well. So if you're on here, just remember the repetition is the mother of skill. The more times you hear the orientation, the better. It is the most important session of your Neumi career. Every single person needs to be there. If you do speak French and you're wondering what the heck am I saying, click the interpretation button. If you speak any other language and you are here live in the Zoom room, not on YouTube, not on Facebook, we do also have Wordly translation, and Justine will pop a little link in the chat for you with that. With that in mind, I'm going to hand you to our Vice President of Sales, my beautiful friend Sergio Delamora, who's going to kick off today.
Hey, everybody. Good evening, good morning, wherever you may be. Thank you for joining us. Third month in a row where we are having this onboarding session, and it's been a great addition to our programs every month. And, this is not only for new people that are just recently joined, even though we do target everyone that signed up the previous month to join this specific call. It's open for everybody. And I encourage all of you to join this constantly so that you can always be up to date and continue sharpening your skills as a leader to remember how to best present what the essentials are here at Neumi. You'll get to hear from our CEO today as he is going to share the 5 steps of success and our crown, Michael Firth. But before we go into that, I just want to let you know that the time has come. Next week, we'll be in Barcelona at this time, right recently arriving around this time, probably meeting with Michael in about a week from now. So we can't wait. And we have really good news. You may have received an email today. Look in your inboxes because today we can still get a few more tickets in for if you're planning to attend in person. But now we want to make it possible for all of you, wherever in the world you may be. It doesn't matter. You can join us virtually. So we're selling summit tickets for $40. This will give you access to view the live private streaming. And how that will work is on the email that you receive, there is an Eventbrite link where you purchase your ticket. Then you will receive a unique code and invitation to join the special summit webinar once it's live next Thursday. Next Friday. Next Thursday is the Achieve. Next Friday and Saturday. So once you get that, you can join us. Also, as an exclusivity, you will be able to access the recordings from this as we also present before they go live or they're made public for quite some time. So that's one of the exclusivities that we'll have access to through a special link. These are unique codes. Each registration will receive their own code. And we can't wait for you to be part of this movement. It does not matter where you're at. You're going to be part of this 5-year celebration. And I'm sure Aaron will give you a hint or two of kind of what it means to be part of this summit. Before we get started, because we do have a lot of material, just want to remind you that because of Summit, next week's events will be a little bit different. We will not have our usual events with the exception of the Tuesday opportunity presentation. And that will be presented by our good friend who's on here translating as we speak into French, Florence Hamill. So gather all your prospects to join the next opportunity presentation on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. All of the other events are going to be postponed, and we're pushing all of the attention into Summit. So we can't wait to be with you connected at different times next week, especially on Friday and Saturday here in the Northern Hemisphere. And of course, we'll make it work for all of you. And for those that do purchase the tickets, you will have access to the recording through a link. Join me as we recognize some rank advancements for the month of June. Now that we're with the new enhancements, I know that a lot of new enrollments are coming in, and I can see the different trends into how people are preparing to take advantage of the power of 3, how they're also preparing to build. And so it's really fun to look at this, and now the time has finally come. So help me now by joining into helping us have some fun recognition for some of our members here. 1 second. So congratulations to all of those new rank advancements. It's fun to see some of those names that I recognize. And we can't wait to award you, especially the new diamond that advanced last month. And also we have a triple diamond that rank advanced. So congratulations, David Lombardi, and his someone that he loves very much that will be recognized as a brand new diamond. We can't wait to meet you both in person. So it's Dinelli's Infante, who is going to be recognized as a diamond, and we also have Davide Lombardi. You may have recognized they live between Italy and Mexico, so they're really building the Italian market, but they do kind of split their time between Mexico and Italy. So that's why you sometimes see them come up as Mexico, sometimes as Italy, but they are 100% living in Italy right now and really taking off with a lot of things over in that market. Now, before I bring Aaron on, I do want to make just one small clarification. I just saw a text that Florence sent me, and I want to just kind of clarify how the live streaming will work when it comes to translations. If you are able to join us live during the sessions, you will have access to the same link that we'll share at the summit for Wordly. If you do not, if you're not able to join because of time or whatever it may be, you will have to use the captions that come through Zoom. But the good news is, if you can join us live for those two events, which if I recommend, I mean, who doesn't stay up sometimes for an event, maybe at early morning hours? So this is a big thing. If you can join us, you will have access to the wordly translations that we will have also at Summit. Now, help me. Let's clap. Let's come together and welcome our CEO, Aaron.
Well, Sergio, thank you very much. And Michael, thank you for getting us online. I think we did have some technical difficulties and didn't hear any sound when we were celebrating all of these incredible rank advancements. But the bottom line is, there is no better place for the newest person to be here tonight than right here where we're at. Of course, it might be morning time where you're at. It may be afternoon where you're at. It might be nighttime where you're at. But the bottom line is, right here is where you need to be. And I always say that. Years ago, I had an opportunity to travel around the world and bring some products out to the markets. And one of the guys said an interesting comment. He said, "Boy, I sure hope that you have a new presentation." And I said, it's interesting, but the presentation that I'm going to do is for the newest people that have never heard it before. And for you guys that always get on every single call, we certainly appreciate you doing that. Next time, drag all of your newest members with you to this one, because this one is the most important one for you to bring your people to so that they can learn the basic steps necessary for them to get started on the best path to success. And one of the things that I love about this industry is that you can't do it alone. You absolutely cannot be successful unless you help others become successful with you. And I think that's a magical statement, because what happens is it's our job as we make commitments and promises to those people that come into the business to give them those same opportunities. So even that relationship that we're creating with you right now is the same relationship that will continue to grow and foster and develop over time. And so Sergio mentioned that this next week we head off to an incredible opportunity to really celebrate a lot of success, and that is going to be in Barcelona. And we wish that everybody could be there. We know that it's a long ways away. As a matter of fact, sorry, I stuttered on that, but as a matter of fact, Michael Firth is getting ready to travel, and I know that it's going to be, I don't know how many days that he's going to have to travel as he comes. He can give you guys a little bit of, there it is, 36 hours to get there. And when you realize that that's a commitment from him, 36 hours means it takes him completely out of the workspace. He can't take phone calls. He's limited on Wi-Fi overseas. He's doing, meaning over the seas. He's doing different things that he has to do. But that's a commitment that he made, that he would be at these events, that he would be able to support you and give you the same opportunities that we talk about all the time. And I certainly appreciate it, because that's what I see every day from Michael. And I see it from many of you, Florence popping in and saying, guys, let me translate so that I can do it in my voice with my personality and be able to give that same inflection that a lot of people need to hear and need to feel as we go through these details. So I really want you to know how important the events like the Barcelona event will be. Of course, we'll have an incredible lead up to the Barcelona event with our Achieve event. And there's nothing I love more than the opportunity to see personal growth and personal development. It's such a wonderful aspect of this industry because so many people are looking for the opportunities to grow and learn and understand better how to work with their people, what different personalities kind of work well with their personality, trying to understand those personality types. In the Achieve event, we always go through our personality test and we always want to find out what personality types we are. There are 4 of them. And so for those of you that are coming to the Achieve event, we always recommend spend some time on the personality test prior to showing up because it really gives us the opportunity to lean in a little bit to understanding you and maybe your personality type as we address some of the things that we're talking about. Then we move right into this summit. And folks, I am telling you, this is the year. We are going to talk about the Eurofin study. And I told somebody earlier today, I said, if you don't understand what I understand now, and if it doesn't lead you to bringing this product to every single person that you know in the world, you are going to understand it better after this next week. Because once you know what we know, it's going to change your life. Everything that you've seen, we're doing, I shouldn't probably show this, but anyways, we're doing some of these before and after books that we're going to give out at Summit. When you buy, I shouldn't have shown that, but I'm going to anyways. But anyway, so we're going to show some of these at Summit. And then when you buy product at Summit, we're going to throw in the book so that you have the opportunity. I'll tell you what it says. It says the anti-aging swish and spray that take years away. Of course, you know who wrote that. It's our beautiful Steve Scott founder. And so the bottom line is that Steve uses the before and afters all the time. But what you're going to find out, which is very important, is why we're seeing the results that we see every single day. We get photos sent to us. I have chats coming into me. I've got information that I see every day, and I can't show a lot of it because a lot of it is really wild and looks very medical. And so I wish we could show everything, but we can't. But one thing that Steve's going to do is he's going to teach you how to use this book a little bit. So that's one big key factor. Now, the other things are when you understand what our hydrostat technology can do, and you understand it from the Eurofin side, you're going to understand very quickly the reason we see what we see is because we get our ingredients right to the cell. The cell goes into a redox state with glutathione and our incredible formulation. And that's where the magic starts to happen. Those 37 trillion cells that are looking for the ingredients that will help them do their job better, that's what starts to develop inside the body, inside the biology of the body. And that's what you're going to learn more about. You're also going to learn about the ingredients that we took up to the next level so that we could actually get those results. And that's what we're talking about. So there are a lot of things that we're going to do, as well as what else can hydrostat deliver. And many of you that are there at that event will find out very quickly what else we can do. So I tell you this because we're leading up to this incredible launch of a few products, some incredible chances to learn more about the opportunity, learn more about the website, the app, and of course the payment options, and then wonderful news about the compensation plan, which we're going to be able to spend a little bit of time on tonight. I'm going to make it very quick because I really want to get into the nuts and bolts that Michael Firth spends time on. So with that being said, Sergio, if you wouldn't mind teeing me up for the 5 steps to success, because folks, the 5 steps to success for me is one of the most important things that we can talk about and really give people the best foot forward. It's such a great chance for people to understand and learn and grow and start developing their teams and their organizations. And so one of the things that I always ask whenever I'm in front of people and have a chance to ask everybody, hey, raise your hand if you are in business. And what does that really mean? Am I in business? Well, it means if you want to treat this industry, if you want to treat what you're doing with Neumi like a business, then act like it's a business. Start using business terms. Start thinking about ways that you can start developing your business. And so businesses run in marketing, they run in sales, they run in operations, they run in all these aspects. But we take care of a lot of that stuff for you. And so the easiest part is when you raise your hand and say you're in business, it means that there's a commitment to starting to grow and build your business with Neumi. And so as we start going through it, we really understand that, look, the bottom line is we've got 5 steps to success. We're going to show you some of those basics today. But let's start with the first step, Sergio, as we really start rolling into this, because the first step is really your return on your investment. It's a great business term. If I've invested into something, I want to try to get my investment back. So I want to be made whole. That's a return on investment. So what does that really look like? Next slide. It really means that we're starting to talk about how do we get our money back. So I've invested, let's say, 100 points into the business. Let's just use dollars, makes it easier for me. I've invested the $100, so now I need to understand how do I get that back? Well, really simply put, I've got a 25% welcome bonus. It's a wonderful, easy way for you to enroll people. That 25% is you enroll four people, just four people, at or above the same amount that you came in at. You're going to get 25% return on each one of those people's investment into their business. We'll talk about that in a minute. But as you click through this, what you find out very quickly is that immediately you get that 25% back. That 4 times 100 equals 400 times 25% gives you your $100 back. Really simple math. And I say that because it's so simple that all you need to do is start teaching that duplication method. Bring in four people at or above the same amount that you came in at, and I will tell you that you'll get your money back. And then you start working on the next step. The next step is getting duplication started. I saw in the video that Michael showed, and I always love it when Michael shows that video because it puts a smile on my face. I'm seeing great friends, people that I've enjoyed and gotten to know all around the world. And so as I see it, I get excited. But I saw on Michael's shirt it said Neumi, duplicate, duplicate, duplicate on his shirt. And when you see the word duplicate, what that really means is that you're starting to move into the next phase. It means that you've got your first four people. Now what do you do next? Second step is how do I get my product for free? So we all know that we're qualifying every single month for our product. We're starting to use the product. We love this product. We love this product. We want to use it every single month. Well, as a result, by just using these products, which we would buy anyways, regardless, but by using these products, we're now building ourselves into a situation where we're qualified to receive commissions. And being qualified to receive commissions means you're starting to work on not only the welcome bonuses, but now you're starting to build into the unilevel plan and building a team that generates enough volume so your $100 monthly activation or qualification gives you the ability to receive commissions. That means that your business is running in the black every month. So next slide. What that does is it gives you the ability to start working with those first four people to do exactly what you've just done. So now you're teaching each individual that came into your business how to get started. And the easiest way to get started, find those first four people to get their return on their investment. And what that does is it starts to build your foundation, not only your width, but your depth. And so your organization is now starting to fill out a little bit, and your organization is starting to develop. And as it starts to develop, you start to receive your commissions in the unilevel. So now you've got through this unilevel on your first level, the $28. Well, you've also added the $50 in the power of three. So you've locked in your power of three. You've locked in your unilevel commissions. Now you've got $28 coming in plus the 50. Now, literally, with the $42 on the duplication side, which is just getting a little bit of depth, now you've got your organization growing and you've only got 10 people that you're working with right now. Think about that. Really simple. The numbers are 10 people in order for you to get your product for free. How many of you think you could do 10 people? How many of you think you could bring 10 people to the business, teach them how to do the business, teach them how to duplicate, and then immediately have the opportunity to see new people coming in, as well as covering the cost of your product every month? So we want your commissions to equal more than what you're spending to qualify for the commission. So again, rolling that direction gives you the ability to start getting over this hump of spending money to get your product every month. Now you're just using commissions in your e-wallet, your Neumi wallet, to be able to go back in and buy those. Now, next one. What we have is an opportunity to do many, many wonderful things that take that next step. And lifestyle change is such a wonderful aspect to that because lifestyle change is really something that's a concept. Years and years ago, I heard about this from Tony Robbins. If you know Tony Robbins, incredible motivator, inspiration, and of course, sets a lot of meaningful specifics when it comes to your life and goals and setting those targets. But he said one thing that was very important. He said, do you know that $500 coming into somebody's monthly household budget would give them a lifestyle change? And if you think about that number, $500 doesn't seem like a lot. But many of the people that I deal with every day and spend time with and get to know, myself included, we're all looking at ways. How do we earn enough money to pay our house payment? How do we earn enough money to pay our car payment? How do we earn enough money to be able to pay our utilities or to keep the lights on in the house or gas for the car, the petrol for the car? How do we make sure that we have food on the table? We have those things the bare necessities that we need. Then when you add $500 to that monthly budget, what happens? Magic. All of a sudden you start seeing things change in your lifestyle because now you might be able to go on a holiday with your family. Now you might be able to go spend some money on a nice dinner out with your partner. So all of these things start to play into what it does to a family or to your lifestyle budget. So as we hit that next slide, what it really does is it starts to really build your duplication methods because ultimately what we're trying to do is help people understand that just by bringing in, let's say, just again, using the first level, bringing in those first 6 people gives us the ability, not only do we see the unilevel start to kick in, but now we're starting to see other individuals start to come into our organization. We're starting to build out our power of 3. We're helping our team build out their power of 3. So our downline is starting to develop and grow and understand better. And then what that does is it starts to help us organizationally take those next steps and giving us the ability to cover those costs, not only of our product every month, but also give us that swing up so that we start seeing the opportunity to really change our lifestyle. So as we click on this again, what you'll start to see is the numbers fill out. You're starting to see your organization's growth. You're starting to see your power of 3 pop in. Now you've got a power of 3 bonus at $250 because you've brought in your 9 people in your power of 3. And now the next thing that happens is that you've got your unilevel commissions on each one of your levels of depth that you're starting to grow your team. So this group, this foundation is really starting to develop. The next step with that is that now you've got $516 coming into your organization, and now you start working towards your ranks. And because you're working towards your ranks, those become your targets. Your targets are not necessarily your goals, but they fit into your goals. Your targets are where you want to go, where you want to take your business. What's the next step? What's the next level? What do I need to do to hit my next rank? And so being able to put those meaningful specifics in place, you always hear Steve Scott talk about it, meaningful specifics. But what do those really mean? Well, it means that you're now starting to get an organization with duplication, with support, leaders starting to grow within your group, starting to see people evolve within the company. And that starts to bring in your milestones so that you can start looking at those ranks as your next opportunity for your growth and achievement. And then when you start to do that, you tie it to rank. So your targets now become an actual a visual monumental step in your progress as you continue to grow. So once you get to 1 star, you've got $500 that you get as a one-time bonus. When you get to 2 star, you've got to qualify during that 6-month time 2 times, but that's $1,000. What could you do with $1,000 a month? And then you start to get into the 3 star. Boy, that changes drastically. You've got $2,000 coming to you. And again, all of this starts to continue to evolve and compound as your team continues to grow. So everything you're doing is volume based, and you're starting to see that volume really start to take effect. Getting to diamond gives you a $5,000 bonus. So it's a real opportunity to see people have that growth mechanism within so that they can start setting their hopes, their goals, and their dreams on those targets, which gives them the evolutionary step that you need to take in order to get to that next level. Again, not making it super difficult, but making it as easy as possible for you to take those steps, those naturally occurring, again, those groups growing and evolving are going to take you to the 5th step, which is getting to your income goal. What do you want to achieve with Neumi? It's not what I want to achieve. It's not what somebody else wants you to achieve. What do you want to achieve with Neumi, and what are you looking at as your goal? And so I always talk about income goals because income goals are very specific to the individual. They're not specific to anybody else. Some people may need an extra $500 a month. Some people may need an extra $10,000 a month. Some people may need more than that, less than that. Doesn't matter. What matters is that as you start to develop your income goals, the most important part of that is to share it with the person that brought you into the business. Now, why would I say that? The reason that I say that is because it is absolutely imperative that they know what you're striving for, that they understand what you're trying to accomplish with your business at Neumi, because once they know, they can help you try to achieve it. Because ultimately, we're all working together. But again, I talk about commitments are promises. And so those commitments that we're making to each other, those commitments that we're giving each of our individuals that we have on our team, if every single one of those people came in and talked to Phoebe Wallace and said, Phoebe, I want to take that next big step. I want to grow to that next big target, my next rank. How do I do it? Well, Phoebe needs to find out, what's your ultimate goal? What do you want to accomplish? And then let's work towards getting there, because each step will be a milestone towards getting to that ultimate goal. That is the effort that we need to put into this, with the, again, the authenticity of what we believe we can do, meaning try to make it something that you believe you can really do, you can really accomplish. Because again, saying I want to make $1 million a month, you may get there, it may take you a few years. Saying something like I want to get $1,000 a month, boy, you can get there quickly. Make it achievable. Give yourself that opportunity to hit that milestone, ring that bell, get excited about that next step, because the next step could be another $1,000. The next step could be $2,000. Next step could be $5,000. Could be monthly. It may not be a rank bonus. It may be an opportunity to just create a consistent, commissionable amount that gives you that payout every single month. And that's really the goal that we're trying to set. Clear objectives with specificity. How do we get to these next steps? And the thing that I love about, again, about our plan, and the thing that I think is absolutely fantastic, is it's a simple step-by-step process to get everybody going the same direction. It really does give everybody that opportunity, starting with the return on their investment. Getting people to start duplicating gives them the ability to start seeing their organization grow, getting their product for free, working through those lifestyle changes, and seeing other people have lifestyle changes. I've been all around the world, so you see some of these countries that may have a little bit less in terms of their average monthly income for the country. Can you imagine some of those countries having another $500 comes into their household budget, when maybe the average income for that country is $500, $700, $1,000? So you think about how drastically that can impact somebody. And then they start working on their rank goals. And then they start climbing up that rank. Their organization's growing. They're building their volume. The revenue starts to really take shape. Now the next step is that they get to their goals. And those goals, again, are those targets that they're setting out for themselves. What do I want to do with Neumi Business? What do I want to do in trying to help my team get to their goals? And again, once we make those commitments, once we make those promises, it's going to be up to us to live up to those. Because again, every day we need an accountability coach. We need somebody to keep us on the right track, on the right path. Sometimes we don't want to hear it. Sometimes we're tired. We don't want to work. Sometimes this is after we get home from our regular job and then we've got to go to work again. So sometimes that can be hard. We get it, folks. But the bottom line is, how much does it mean to you? What is it worth to you to take that little extra step, to make that little extra effort to get to your goals, to get to your targets? Because ultimately, I'll tell you what, you'll never look back and regret if you worked as hard as you can possibly work to get to your future. Because I'll tell you this, it is an opportunity for you to change your life, but not just yours, somebody else's life as well. You can do that together. You can see many, many people's lives change. And it's what I find to be really the most fundamentally rewarding part about what I do every day, is seeing people change their lives. I see it all over the world. And for me, it's beautiful, because it's not just financial, it's not just health, but the community and the culture that we're building around the world is paramount to our success. And we're seeing it every day. So with that being said, Sergio, I'll turn it back to you.
Aaron, thank you so much. What a wonderful presentation. And I appreciate you also taking the time to continue on the consistency with these onboarding calls. They're very important. And I can't wait to be with you among all of the members. It doesn't matter whether they're on virtually or at Barcelona. We can't wait for that moment. Now it's my pleasure to bring our crown, Michael Firth, who is also going to give us some wonderful tips today as we can go throughout their initial journey here at Neumi. Welcome, Michael.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sergio. And thank you, Aaron. I've got to say, guys, in my entire career, and I'm not just saying this because I know he's still listening, Aaron is probably the most field-driven executive I've ever known in my entire career. And I say that not flippantly because that's what results in, synergy between corporate and the field. And if you don't have that synergy, then, you can have a great comp plan, you can grab great product, but if you don't have the synergy, it just doesn't work as well. And I want to reiterate what he said too, as we segue into this part of the orientation, that nothing gives me more joy or makes me feel more inspired than seeing someone else grab the baton and run with it and become better at what they're doing. So our day, I never struggle to get out of bed because I'm like, man, I'm empowering someone. Someone's going to transform a life. Or I say to this to people, how many lives do you want to transform? We're going to show you now how you can transform hundreds of thousands of lives with the Neumi system. So the first half of the orientation is the 5 ways to profit, which was beautifully done by Aaron, and I love the enhancements that have been done to that. The second part of this presentation is the what to do, the systems, the processes. So in our company, when Neumi was started, one of the reasons for our success isn't just that the product does things nothing else in the market can do, accessing a cell in a way nobody can, at a price that no one can compete with. And it's not just because we pay way more commissions than everybody else. It's because we had a duplicatable system from day one. Now, I heard this statement I'll start with before I go into it. We're about a year into running the Neumi 123 ABC system you're about to hear. And then I saw someone online who I've been following for decades in the industry. And he got online and he said, I have 1 million personal team members. And I was like, wow, imagine having 1 million personal team members. And then he went on to say that I haven't recruited salespeople. I'm not a great salesperson, but I have a very simple system that anyone could do, and that's the reason for my success. And then I said to Alex, we devised a system on day one. We're only a year in. We've now we've got 250,000 members across 74 countries. That guy has 1 million. He took 20 years to get to there. How many people do you think we'll have now that we started from day one with a system? He probably started maybe a decade into his journey with the system. Sometimes, even for me, took a while for me to learn how important systems were. So let's hop in and have a quick look at those. All right. So Neumi 123 ABC, that's the name of the game. Let me just get rid of the camera there. Okay, great. So you can play this back as many times as you like because repetition is the mother of skill, which is what Aaron said as we kicked off today's event. So play it back, it's important. And I want to walk you through the duplication quadrant. We just came out one of our one-star boot camps. This was devised by Alex Monterosa, double crown, biggest income earner in the entire company. So on the left-hand side top, you'll see learn to do. So this is what you do when you start. You plug into the systems we have, the Neumi Academy workshops, the corporate to proof training, Neumi weekly presentations, and the upline training that your team might have. And that will, kick you off. And that means you'll probably be a member. Maybe you'll get to senior member. But it's doing what you learn where you actually learn. Robert Kiyosaki said this industry is the best business school on the planet, not because of theory. Like you could sit in this session 1 million times and never grow your business, but it's the application of the principles you're learning today where you do the learning. So doing what you learn is the most important part, which is action and implementation. And of course, that's when you choose an active mentor. If your upline is the same rank as you, maybe try and find someone a higher rank above them to mentor you, because you need to have a pace setter, someone who's been before you. A true leader says, they go the way then and show the way, and then they bring everybody with them. So the leader has to be active and ahead of you in some way. So create your list, create cycles, Neumi cycles, which is the core of everything we do here in Neumi. We'll talk about cycles in a minute. Become a connector, connecting them to upline, contact and invite. They're the 2 things you need to master when you get started. Now that'll take you to 1-star, 2-star, and 3-star. How do you get to 1-star, 2-star, 3-star? Power of 3, as was just outlined beautifully by Aaron. Then here's important. That's all you need to do today. We're going to talk about doing what you learn, or learning to do and doing what you learn. But for those people who are watching this presentation now that maybe want to be a diamond and they're not getting there, or they're plateauing and they can't get by, it's because you haven't changed gears to learn to teach, which means you're following an active mentor, again, someone with a bigger business than you, and you're going to go on and everything you've learned, you're going to learn how to empower others with that. And that's the big gear change. Sometimes people in the past, in not just Neumi, other companies, have sold their way to a rank, and they wonder why, and they're like beating their chest, I've introduced 1,000 people. That's nice. Not really a badge of honor. Have you empowered people? That's when you really have a ongoing business. And that's where systems and processes are so important. So it's continuous ongoing education. You go from rookie to pro to expert and then influencer with the whole field. You counsel regularly with an upline, and that's where the duplication zone kicks in, and you'll probably go 3-star or diamond and above. Then we gear change again, which is teach to teach. That's when you become a mentor of the mentors. That's where the residual life really kicks in. And then it's just go through the process. Learn, do, teach, repeat. Learn, do, teach, repeat. Learn, do, teach, repeat. And that's where you'll get to crown, double crown, triple crown, president, etc. So where are you today? If you're brand new, you're going to learn to do, and then you're going to put this in action on the second quadrant is learning to do what you've learned. So the first question I have, if you come on board without any real mentoring, you're probably going to go, isn't the product enough? Can't I just talk about the product? Yeah, you can. And there's no right and wrong, just so we're clear. There's only actions that create an outcome. So if all you do is talk about the product and you don't actually follow any sort of process, often you can end up with lots of customers and not members. Some people are scared to talk about the business, and that's just an internal energy they hold. That's why our process of the Neumi 123 has in the app now, first video, 3-minute video. Second video, 20-minute opportunity overview. Third video, compensation plan. And then those balloons came up. I don't know how I did that. Right. So the second question, everyone loves me. I can sell anything. Michael, I don't need your systems. Isn't that enough? Well, that was my learning. Unfortunately, I was tarred with the wrong brush with this. I was a national sales coach in the mortgage industry, and I remember saying in the last company, why do we need your systems? And guess what happened to me? I got from up to diamond pretty quick, and then I plateaued and I couldn't get beyond diamond. I'm like, why am I stuck at diamond? What is frustrating me? Why can't I get beyond diamond? And that's because I hadn't got a system that I could hand the baton onto somebody, because I had sold my way or helped everybody get the business to a certain point. Pull Michael out of the picture, the whole thing could just collapse because it was relying on me and I hadn't empowered others. Now, I can tell you, if you look at the structure of your business, and if you wanted me to surmise how does this work, let's just talk crown. You want to go crown? You need 6 1-star legs. Done. Oh, you also need 500,000 in volume. Forget that. If someone had 6 1-star teams exactly the same size, that's a very bad business. Why? Should be that, not up down, right? Because it means you haven't empowered everybody. By the time my 6th leg hit 1-star, my first leg was $1 million a month and now has a double crown in it. That's empowering along the way. So your business shouldn't look like that. It should look like a lopsided falling apart thing. And that's a secure business because you've empowered people along the way. So how do you build this business? Power of 3, do that, 3, then 6, then 9, duplicate it. That leads to 1-star. 1-star leads to every single rank. It's really that simple. Get away from the numbers. You don't have to worry about the numbers. Just focus on duplication. So next question, and the last question, is whatever you are doing so simple a child could do it? Remember the 3 Ps: product, personality, and process. So product is fantastic. We have a product that does things nothing else in the world can do, but it won't do it. It won't recruit everybody for you on its own. Personality, if you're great at sales, bring that to the table, absolutely, but also point back at the simple Neumi 123 system so people could say, well, that was easy. And so for an example, yes, I might have all the answers in the world because I've been in Neumi since day 1, but I still use Alex, my introducing member, as the follow-up on step 2, even though I'm a founding advisory board member and a crown. Why? I'm teaching by doing. Okay. So yes, got the skills. Yes, got a great product, but we have a process. And I can point back at the end and say, well, what did I do? I said, watch this, talk to him, try that, which is Neumi 1, 2, 3. Connect to tools, connect to leaders, connect to product. So let's get back into it and talk about the process. So Neumi 1, 2, 3. Success is as simple as 1, 2, 3, ABC. 1, 2, 3 is the onboarding, and ABC is the, 1, 2, 3 is the recruitment, ABC is the onboarding. So there is a fantastic document that you can access by going to neumibusiness.com. neumibusiness.com. When you go there, you can download this Road to 1-Star Getting Started checklist with the way to track all your members. That can be sent to you by the app, by the way. If you didn't know this right now, I should show it to you. If you go to the app right now and you are a brand new member, I'm going to show it to you on my screen. On the very first screen, this is just ramped up. On the very first screen, we have the 3-minute video, we have the opportunity overview, and then we have the comp plan. If you scroll down, we have follow-up tools. There's Steve's deep dive into glutathione that people need to know after they've watched the first few. It's a follow-up tool. And then we have the compensation plan one pages. And down here, we have the getting started video as well with all the documents, including the one I just talked about, which you can send from your app. Where do you find that? Bottom tab is the one for share, second from the right, second from the left, back to front here. And then at the top, Neumi 123. So make sure you click that. You've got everything you need to build your teams right there in front of you. Okay, so that's the 123. 123 is connect your prospects. So connect to tools, connect to leaders, connect to product. Ideally in that order. It doesn't have to be. Sometimes people introduce me on a three-way call before they've watched something, and that's fine. Not the ideal, but it's fine. Other times people watch some videos, join, and then get on a three-way call. Totally fine as well. The ideal process would be having your upline help you at step 2 because you'll get a higher conversion. So let's talk about these different things separately. Number 1 is connect to tools. What tools? 3-minute video. Just showed it to you in the app. There you go. That's the first video for everyone. Live weekly opportunity overview. Yesterday we had the beautiful Sherry Werner Diamond presenting on behalf of everyone worldwide. There's always a presenter every single week. You can use that live if that time zone works for you. But we have the overview in 20 minutes in the app. You can use that. Then there may be a weekly opportunity overview within your team. Maybe your upline diamonds presenting. You can utilize that. And a live launch. Now, what's a launch? Some people are going to go slow intensity. Other people are going to go cycles, mid intensity. I'll talk about that in a minute. And the last, some people might want to go high intensity. We may book a launch event privately for them 7 days after they start at their home face-to-face or online or both. And then we'll present that specifically for them. So that's connect to tools. That's the way we expose the business. Then we connect to leaders. What does that mean? Number 2. Well, a 3-way phone call was the old retro way. We still do that. But I like the 3-way Zooms because I can eyeball your prospect and get to know them better with the smile and the inflection and the body language, which I can't do on a phone call. But the retro way still works. You may introduce them to a key leader Zoom as an introduction, or maybe even corporate. Now, in my case, I only have Alex to support me, and then I will draw upon the corporate team sometimes. That's just because I don't have any more upline. In your case, you probably got half a dozen upline you could draw upon, and then eventually corporate if needed. A coffee introduction to someone face-to-face. For example, I just finished a launch for someone here in Australia the other day, and then after that, there was a beautiful couple that turned out to live right across the river. They're on the call right now. Hi, Ali and Trent. And right across the river here in Sunshine Coast. And of course, I said, well, of course we'll meet face to face. So we had a coffee instead. So that's a great way to follow through as well. Maybe a group Q&A. Maybe you've got fast growth going on. And I remember the Indonesian team when we first launched saying, Michael, honestly, a one-on-one with everyone. Do you know how many people are coming in? Hundreds a day. We're going to have to do a group Q&A every day. And they did that during that period, right? And then now, ideally, they would have come back to one-on-one follow-ups with an upline to keep the momentum growing. Now, what's the difference? I want to say this. Why do I prefer one-on-one follow-ups when I have a 3-way call going? And if there's many upline mentors, they don't all get on the call because it'll overpower people. There's 3 people, the upline, the prospect, and the person doing the call, me. Why? I can tailor my call. Now, the key thing, if you're an upline and you haven't studied it, go to the back office, go to the app, look for, and if you can't find it, contact me, third-party validation. It teaches an upline how to handle themselves on a 3-way call. Because when you do an upline, do a 3-way call for a downline, your job is not to sell Neumi. Your job is to bond really well and have a great greeting and qualify, so you can get to know the person's needs and wants and desires. You can actually listen to them, have them like you. Then the invitation stage, which is trained and duplicatable, is to talk about the next steps and how you're going to help that person get to the next step. Now, one-on-one, I can do that. I can tailor my responses to the individual. In a group, I'm just talking to them. There's no tailoring. There's no tapping into their emotional drivers. So even though it's slower one-on-one, it's more powerful because you're tapping into their reasons why. So meet the founder. There's another great way. If you can't get them on a call with your upline because they're a little bit pushing back on that, get them on the week or get them on the monthly call with Steve. I say weekly there. I should change that. It's now monthly when Steve gets on. And of course, if you're not doing this, what are you thinking? If they're on social media, add them to the Neumi New You Facebook group. Do yourself a favor, buyer beware. Never add anyone to a Facebook group about Neumi if it's not your upline or it's not the company one. Why? Sometimes, and I love everybody, and we're all in love here in Noumi, sometimes down the track, a year down the track, somebody who isn't following systems and processes, who's just recruiting people, throwing mud against the wall, suddenly decides it's not working because they're not duplicating and not following systems, and they decide to leave, and you've added all your people to their Facebook group. They leave and take them all with you, with them. So you've just lost your people by putting them in someone else's group. Only add people in your uplines group or the company one. Now, in the Noumi New You group, when you add them, you have to ask them for permission. Don't just add them. So I would say, hey, Phoebe, there's a great Facebook group where you can see hundreds of testimonials. I'm going to add you right now. Have I got your permission? Yes, Michael. Great. Just added you. Go check your alerts. It's going to ask you 2 questions. Who invited you? Type in Michael Firth and click agree to group rules. If you don't do that right now, in an hour from now, it's going to boot you out of the group. You won't get in. So it's important to personalize that. And then when she's in the group, what do? Let's say Phoebe's wellness focused. I go find a wellness testimonial and photographs and I tag her, the @ symbol and her name under it. I say, Phoebe, check out the testimonial I just tagged you under. So you personalize it. We don't just spam people into the group who haven't seen anything. That's not going to recruit. That's a bad thing for the industry. We tailor it. We follow her up one-on-one. We tag her. Now, if she's a sports person, I tag her under all the sports ones. Okay, so we can tailor it. So it's called ATM, add tag message, within the within the Noumi New You group. And that's part of the Noumi 123 process, adding them to the group and tagging them. Maybe there's a live event. We're going to do a whole series of events straight hot on the heels of the summit, where there'll be diamond tours around the world. Get them to attend a live event. Now, if you're the speaker at the front of the room, you have a very honorable role of being the central neutral person for everyone in the room, even if they're not in your team. So we don't guide people and give advice cross-line. We inspire them, we edify their upline, and we tell them to go back to their upline for more information. So that's a neutral role at the front of the room. So that's connecting to leaders. The third step is connect to products. So get them registered. That's the first and foremost thing. So if they're positive, I'll be going, hey, sounds like you're ready to get started. Let's get you going. Here's the link. Or maybe they want to become a preferred customer on AutoShip, or maybe they at least want to make a one-off purchase as a retail customer on the site. Maybe, and I say maybe, you might want to give a product sample to some people. I can't find it on my desk. There's a little bottle here somewhere. There are little sample bottles in some countries. Here's my only tip. When I first had my first glutathione supplement in the precursor world before this, I took this capsule. I had a phenomenal response. I'm like, wow, this is so good. All I got to do is buy heaps of this and be Santa Claus and give it to everybody. And I wasted thousands and thousands of dollars. Let me be a beacon of warning to all of you. Don't do that. I only personally check with your coach, but I will only give a sample in one scenario. If the person's watched the first 3-minute video and is excited, they watch the opportunity overview, they're still excited, they've met with Alex as my step 2 and they're still excited, but for whatever reason, they haven't registered and they're sitting on the fence, I might give a bottle of product at my own expense, right? Now, I've done that around the world and it's resulted in hundreds of thousands of people. Has some bottles resulted in nothing? Yes. So don't give product away unless... There's Trent and that putting a love heart. They got a bottle of product when we met at the coffee shop. So there you go. Have product in the cupboard. Just know when you're calculating your business at 100 PV per head, you're undercutting it. Why? Because the average is actually 200 worldwide, because some people who just get in with their pinky buy just 2 products. Most people who are building have extra product in the cupboard, like I did with Ali and Trent, to say, take this home now, don't wait for your delivery. If you don't have product in the cupboard, you can't do that. Then they would have to wait another week for the delivery before they have a product experience. See why it's important to have a little bit more product when you're talking about connecting to products. And we might have that product as a sample, or it could be sell it to them if you're in a non-NFR market. NFR means not for retail. So you can't sell a product to a non-member in Australia or you're breaking the law, but you can have 1 million people joining you and buying off the website. That's an NFR market. Maybe you loan a bottle. I'm a bit more generous, as a Crown, I give it away, but you might loan a bottle to someone and say, when yours arrives, give me one back, and that's fine too. And send them more testimonials. There's plenty of interviews, all sorts of stuff in Noumi New You. Get all of that stuff and keep them. Send them a testimonial about Bill Gillespie. Send them a testimonial from the app. There's so many things you can use in there. So there is a secret superpower with all of this. What is it? Please write this down. This is the second skill. The first skill you're going to master is practicing your invitation so you feel comfortable in how you're going to ask people to look at Noumi. We'll cover that at the end of this call in a second. But BAM fam is the second skill you've got to learn. Book a meeting from a meeting, okay? Now, If I was to send you a link, I don't say, hey, I'm going to send you this link. And once you watch it, let me know and I'll ring you back. No. Then I'm going to chase you. And they said it was Larry. Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, buddy. Okay. Tomorrow. Hey, Larry, have you? No, I haven't watched it yet. Okay. Next day. Hey, Larry, have it? No, annoying. Whereas if I just said, Larry, I'm going to send you a video. I'd like to send you a video. If I send it to you, would you watch it? Permission? Question. Sure. Hey, if I send it now, you'll have some questions when you've watched it. When's a chance? When are you going to watch it? When's a good time to debrief? Let's book it now. I get busy, you get busy, and we book a time in. Book our meeting from a meeting. Big skill, number one skill. Okay, you don't want to be that annoying person chasing people, then book a meeting from a meeting, and you never will be. Okay, so everything starts uncomfortable. If the thought of booking a meeting from a meeting made you feel uncomfortable, just remind you this: if you were driving a car, everyone who's got a car key out there that's driven a car. Correct me if I'm wrong, type it in the chat. When you first drove a car, you were really bad at it. I remember the first time I was in a car on my own, when no longer did I have the L plates on, and I was going down my friend's side road at 50 kilometers an hour, and I had my knuckles white on the steering wheel, and I thought I was doing 1,000,000 kilometers an hour. So I was unconsciously incompetent at driving at first. Then eventually through practice, you become consciously incompetent where you go, holy crap, I don't know what I'm doing. I need a mentor. Help, someone help me. And that's if you're bad at the phone calls or bad at booking a meeting from a meeting, reach out to a mentor and ask them for help. Eventually, as you practice, this is why Robert Kiyosaki says it's the best business school, by doing, then you become consciously competent. But practice more. Eventually, you become unconsciously competent. So they go through phases. The first one, you don't know that you don't know. You're oblivious. Second one, oh, I know that I don't know. Third one, I know now. And the last one is I know that I know, right? It's just in second nature. So if you come across someone, and I'll say this, some people say, man, you're really good at three-way calls. I've done hundreds or thousands of them. Practice, nothing beats practice. Man, you're good at phone calls. It's natural for you. I'm not like that. Did you practice? I've practiced thousands of times. Nothing beats practice. Here's a tip for you. 95% of Neumi members don't practice. 5% earn the biggest dollars. It's just coincidence. No, it's not. So practice. How do you become good at anything? Competence comes, or confidence comes from competence. Competence comes from practicing, not on your prospects, out loud first before you get on a phone call. So let's discuss the ABC. Now we talked about the Neumi 1, 2, 3, connect to tools, connect to leaders, connect to product. Now it's the onboarding. Direct to the following. So direct to the app, direct to the bonus, direct to the community. So let's break it down. So you direct your members to the app. The app just relaunched. It's got so much amazing stuff in it. If you haven't downloaded it, you need to. You can practice the Neumi 1, 2, 3 sequence. I showed you a second ago. The Neumi 1, 2, 3 is on its own tab there, the primary tab. Practice sending a video out from the app to your upline and see if they click it. Then you can see how they've played it. Work with your new person if you are the upline on their invitation. If I'm launching someone, I make another appointment to sit with them and make sure they know what to say on the phone. If they don't have any practice, it's going to be unconscious incompetence and their results are going to be bad. So practice. Teach the right questions to ask, which I'll cover off now, and book a meeting from a meeting. So directing your members to the bonus. What does that mean? Well, the power of three leads to every single commission in the company I talked about. So the goal number one is earn $50 by introducing your first three and then duplicate. But it's not three, it's three or more. Three is the starter's gate for the baby who gets, I could do this. Then aim for six for $100 or aim for nine for $250. So I want to explain to you that the power of three leads to one star. If I did three, then six, then nine, and I introduce someone who does three or six or nine, who introduces it, you can see how this goes. If you did the numbers on it, a one star at 100 PV is 50 people. Michael introducing 50 people is not network marketing, that's sales. So if Michael introduces three or six or nine and duplicates three or six or nine, eventually we've got 50 people there purchasing 100 PV, boom, one star. Truth is, it'll probably be 25 people because the average is 200 PV, but count for the fact that some people buy once and don't buy again. So statistically, just work on the 50 and we're good. Now, underneath the line, if all they want is their products for free, all they got to do is get 4 people and then they've got what they spent back, their return back. But explain to everyone, we do not build 3 teams. The people who want the smallest income build 3 teams and stack them. The people who want big incomes go wide. Width equals profitability. So going 6 teams wide will pay you way more than if you had 3 teams. So we all go as 3 initially, then 4, then 5, then 6, just like Aaron showed, and then we duplicate down. What happens when you've got 9 people? Well, in the diagram shown by Aaron, 6 frontline, then plug 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and other teams. Cross that bridge when you get to it with your upline and make sure they help you structure that very well. So 1-star leads to everything. Finally, direct to the community. So introduce to the community of support. Now that might mean explaining the schedule like today, and then booking a meeting from a meeting, booking them into their first members night. This event today you never miss. This is the umbilical cord for everything. You can miss other stuff, but you never miss this. If you're at work, you have to play this back every week because this is your umbilical cord. Then add your new members to the Neumi members group, which is for updates for members. Add them all to the Neumi New You group for prospects. Submit your own testimonial to the Neumi New You group. If you haven't done that now and you've been in the business longer than 2 weeks, what's your testimonial? What's your story? Work with your upline, write a quick story, a couple of paragraphs, a photograph, send it in, and we will publish those. And we'd love them in all languages. Determine the level of intensity. Do you want to build with cycles or launching? What's a cycle? Let me just touch on cycles. On one end, we have people who join Neumi and they just want their products for free. Yeah, recommend a couple of people here and there, get 4 people, you got your products, you spend 100, you got 100 back. Cool. You saw that from Aaron. Other people say, I want some residual income. Focus on cycles. That is, do you think you can make 10 calls today or 10 messages? That's not a big step. 30 minutes, you can make 2-minute phone calls, bang, 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 done. Easy. That's a baby step. Could you make 10 calls today and 10 tomorrow? Yeah. What about the next day? Yeah. So 10, 10, 10, 30 calls. Statistically speaking, if you do it right with upline support, you'll convert at least 10%. You might have 3 members and 3 customers when you follow that cycle, a Neumi cycle of 30. It's a baby chunk. That's the step everyone wants to duplicate. Some people are not doing that. They're just doing random reaching out and they'll get a little bit of free product eventually, but they won't build a big business. Then you've got cycles, duplicatable step. Everyone can do, even if you're running a full-time job. Then there is launching. What's that? Booking a meeting 7 days out and going for it, inviting 10, maybe 20 a day, bang, 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 and 100 people, and then do a big launch event. Not for everybody. Some people can. That's a great way to start. That's what I did. I'm not suggesting it's an income claim, but I ended up 90-day lead as we launched the company, opened the doors, double dime into 2 weeks, crown in 12 months. Duplicating high intensity with launches can be done. Discuss the tool. Use the tool. Don't be the tool in the early stages. Some people want to jump in and be a presenter on day one. That's great for your downline, but if you do it for your people, you're saying that everyone needs to be a presenter. You're better off having all your contacts presented to by somebody else and then duplicate from there, and you can certainly step up and be the presenter for those people downline. Remember the number one thing, have fun. I love this business. I'm never feeling like I'm working. So Neumi is as simple as 1, 2, 3, ABC, as simple as that. You connect your prospects by connecting to tools, leaders, and products, and then you direct your members with the onboarding, which is simple as direct to the app, bonus, and community. Simple as that. Final thing to talk about, what's the difference between contacting and inviting? Contacting, in my opinion, is being genuinely interested in other people to build your list without a Neumi agenda, keeping an active growing list at all times. Now, I say dig the well before you need it. When you join, there are essentially 5 things we do. Contacting, meeting new people without an agenda, inviting to look at a tool, presenting, following up, and coaching. If you're brand new, you can't coach because theory doesn't cut it. You can't coach what you've not done yet. So hold on to that for later. You shouldn't be following up on your own because the Neumi 123 says step 2, have an upline help you. Presenting, you shouldn't be presenting for yourself when you start. So all you got to worry about is do 2 things, contacting and inviting. So inviting is making a phone call to get someone to look at a tool or attend an event. That's it. Not explaining, that's presenting. You're just inviting. Basic call, get someone to look at something. Contacting is adding to your list without a Neumi agenda. The secret to my success is my social media. I have warmed up lots of contacts privately with contacting without a Neumi agenda. Some people say, but you do have an agenda. And I'm like, you're missing the point. I might contact 30 people and only ever invite 10 of them because it flowed. So I'm not pushing an agenda. I'm going, let's just suss it out and get to know people and be a really nice human being and find out all about them. And you'll find opportunity everywhere when you're contacting. So that's contacting. Next is inviting. Let's get into that as we wrap up. Inviting is inviting someone to watch a Neumi tool or a Neumi event. So who would like an objection-free invitation? Type in yes in the chat if you would. No longer ever going to get an objection. Love to see how many people would love a objection-free invitation. All right. A couple of people. Yep. All right. So here's how my invitation works. Please go back to your upline and practice this with it. If you haven't practiced, I don't know why you haven't. Anyway, small talk, can't talk for long, something exciting, super quick blurb, if I would you, when are you free to? What does that mean? Well, let's go through them step by step. Small talk. What's that? Hey, Phoebe, how are you? How's your weekend? What have you been up to? Hey, it's exciting, blah, 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 blah. For me, no longer than a minute to 2 minutes, maximum, because it's got to be efficient. They're watching what I'm doing to see, have I got time to do this? So if I spend 20 minutes, 30 minutes talking to them before I say anything, I've shown them they haven't got time to do this. So 1 minute max. How's your weekend? What have you been up to? Then a segue thing. Listen, can't talk for long, just about to walk out the door. Why have I said that? I'm changing gears and she can't keep me on the phone because I said I can't talk for long. I'm about to run out the door. So I can't get stuck. All right. Then a super quick blurb, something exciting. What is that? Well, that's when I'll give my version of what I say. So in my invitation, it'd be something along the lines of, well, Phoebe, you wouldn't be aware of this. I'm launching a brand new nutrition delivery mechanism into the world. We deliver nutrients to a human cell in 70 seconds. It's never been done before. The results I'm seeing are off the charts. I've been in nutrition for 20 years and I've never seen the results we're getting right now. It's amazing. I don't know if it's for you, but I have a question. What's the question? You can see it on the slide. If I sent you a video that explains it, would you watch it? If I would you? And then and she says, yeah. And I say, look, the video only goes for 3 minutes. When do you think you'll get a chance to watch it? When are you free to debrief? You'll probably have some questions. I'll watch it right now. Great, I'll call you straight back then. Boom. Now, when I call back, it's just my thermometer. I'm like, pretty cool, hey. And she's going to go, how does it work? What does it work? Is it this? Is it that? Is it that? I don't care what she asks. I'm going to go, brilliant questions. That little video is just to see if there's any interest. Sounds like you're curious. Listen, there's another video that goes for 20 minutes maximum, and that covers absolutely everything. And all your questions you're asking are going to be answered with that. If I send it to you now, when do you think you'll get a chance to watch that one? And when's a good time to debrief? Because you'll have some questions. I was thinking this time or this one, which one suits you best? So it's no yes, yeses, no yes, no's here. It's a yes, yes. That time or that time. Not would you like to or would you be interested? I never asked that question. So I'll go through that again verbally. Don't try and write this down. You can play this back on the recording. It would be ring, ring, and I've got no notes. So this is how unconsciously competent this is. It's a conversation. Ring, ring. How are you, Phoebe? How's your weekend? Blah, blah, blah. Small talk. Hey, listen, just a really quick call. Can't talk for long. Got to run out the door in a minute. I was thinking of you the other day. You wouldn't be aware, we're launching a brand new nutrition delivery system to the world, and it's delivering nutrients to a human cell in 70 seconds. It's unbelievable. Listen, I wanted to ask you a quick question. I've got a cool video that explains a bit about it because I don't know if it's for you or not yet. If I sent that to you, it goes for 3 minutes, would you watch it? Sure. Okay, cool. Once you watch it, have some questions, Phoebe. When's a good time to debrief? Only goes for 3 minutes. Oh, watch it straight away. Perfect. I'll call you straight back then, hey? So I have systemized that down to a conversation. If you don't want to seem salesy, practice. There was no ums and ahs in there. There was no nervousness. Sharks smell fear, apparently. That's why I'm very cautious in the river out here, right? Dogs smell fear. People smell doubt. So ums and ahs are not confident. They smell, and that repels. So if you want to be confident, be competent. How do you do that? Practice out loud. So get your vision. Don't use my words, but you need to learn the questions. 3 questions you're going to learn. If I sent you a video, would you watch it? Next one. Once you watch it, you have some questions. When's a good time to debrief? When's a good time? I was thinking this one or this one. Which one suits you? Booking a meeting from a meeting. If you're doing a launch or inviting to an event, there's one more question, which is, and you ask it at the front. You just go, hey, Phoebe, how you going? How's your weekend? What have you been up to? Blah, blah, blah. Hey, listen, what are you doing on Thursday night at 7 o'clock? Zip. Nothing. Why? Straight into the other call I gave you. Well, because we're launching a brand new product and and we're doing an online event and I'd love you to be there. So I know I've spoken fast, but the cool news is if you go to your app right now and you go back to the getting started session, you're going to hear exactly what I've just said, where you can play it back, come back, come back, come back, and you can practice, practice, practice. You're going to regroup with your sponsor because sponsor is responsible for, their job is to support you. That's why they get paid. So you're going to go back to your sponsor and ask them for some help, and you're going to bounce off them to see come up with your version of your invitation. Remembering to book a meeting from a meeting is a skill. Final thing I want to say, do not be scared of this question. What is it? A lot of people freeze like a rabbit in the headlights as soon as they hear that. Oh no, that's not in my script. I've already said everything. Easy. All you do is repeat everything with more detail. Well, as I said, Phoebe, when she says, what is it? We've invented a brand new delivery mechanism that delivers nutrients to a human cell in 70 seconds. What happens is you put it in your mouth like a mouthwash, you swish it like a mouthwash, and seconds later, the trillions of particles are into the bloodstream and into the organs. Anyway, as I said, there's a video that explains it in more detail better than I would. If I sent that to you, would you watch it? So don't be scared for the what is it question. Welcome it. You want it. It's great, but you need to be confident to answer it by practicing. I know I sound like a broken record. So as we wrap up, that is the secret to Neumi 123 and ABC. Practice, practice, practice. Nothing beats practice. You want to be competent. You need to be confident, and you can only do that by practicing. So thank you for attending today. I promise we do this. I'm going to stop the recording now, but stop the live streaming, I should say.